Today we know biography about James Watt. James Watt was a Scottish inventor and mechanical engineer whose innovations in steam engine design significantly advanced the Industrial Revolution and shaped modern industry. Early life and background. James Watt was born on January 19, 1736 in Greenock, Scotland, to a prosperous family. His father, James Watt Sr., was a shipwright, and his mother, Agnes Muirhead, was a woman of considerable intellect. Growing up in a household of modest means but intellectual stimulation, Watt exhibited an early aptitude for mechanical work. His early education was irregular due to his health problems, but he received private tutoring and learned a great deal from his surroundings. His early exposure to shipbuilding, tools, and mechanical principles sparked his interest in engineering. Watt married Margaret Miller in 1764, and together they had 2 sons and a daughter. After Margaret's death in 1773, Watt remarried to his cousin, Anne MacGregor, in 1776, and they had 5 children. Apprenticeship and initial work. Watt was apprenticed to a mathematical instrument maker named John Craig at the age of 18. This apprenticeship allowed him to refine his skills in mechanical design and understand the principles of precision engineering. After completing his apprenticeship, Watt moved to London in 1757 to work for another instrument maker. However, his health issues continued to trouble him, and he returned to Glasgow in 1759 to continue his work independently. It was during this time that Watt began focusing on the design of scientific instruments, particularly for the University of Glasgow. Meeting with William Murdoch and early innovations. Watt's breakthrough came in 1763 when he was asked to repair a model of a Newcomen steam engine at the University of Glasgow. He found that the engine was inefficient due to the wasteful use of steam. This problem sparked Watt's interest in improving steam engines, and he began working on designs to enhance their efficiency. During this period, Watt met William Murdoch, a fellow engineer and inventor, who would later influence Watt's thinking and technological developments. Murdoch introduced Watt to the concept of using separate chambers for condensation, which would become an essential element in Watt's later work on steam engines. The development of the separate condenser. Watt's first major innovation came with the design of a separate condenser. This improvement, conceived in 1765, greatly increased the efficiency of steam engines by preventing the engine from cooling down every time it performed a cycle. Watt's development of the separate condenser was revolutionary, as it allowed the steam engine to run continuously without wasting energy. He filed a patent for his idea in 1769, but the invention would still require years of development and refinement before it could be used practically. Watt's work on the separate condenser marked the beginning of his long collaboration with entrepreneur Matthew Boulton. Collaboration with Matthew Boulton. In 1775, Watt entered into a partnership with Matthew Boulton, an experienced manufacturer and businessman. Boulton's company, Boulton and Watt, would become the principal manufacturer of Watt's improved steam engines. This collaboration was pivotal in turning Watt's theoretical designs into practical, mass-produced machines. Boulton's expertise in business and manufacturing complemented Watt's engineering skills, and together, they revolutionized the steam engine industry. The partnership allowed Watt to focus on innovation while Boulton handled the production and sales. The rotary motion engine. One of the key developments in the history of steam engines was Watt's invention of the rotary motion engine. Prior to this innovation, steam engines were used primarily for pumping water. Watt's rotary engine could drive machines in factories, mills, and mines, significantly expanding the scope of the steam engine's utility. The rotary motion made it possible for steam engines to be used in a variety of industrial applications, from textile manufacturing to metalworking. This invention was a crucial step in the Industrial Revolution, enabling mechanization on a much larger scale. The patent controversy. Watt's patent for the steam engine with a separate condenser was granted in 1769, but it led to significant legal disputes. His patent was fiercely contested by other inventors and engineers, including Richard Arkwright and John Smeaton. In particular, The issue of the double-acting steam engine was hotly debated, as Watt had to defend his innovations in court. Despite these challenges, Watt's patent stood, and he successfully maintained control over the key elements of his steam engine design for several years. However, after the expiration of the patent in 1800, other inventors were able to build upon Watt's work and further improve steam technology, expansion of business, and global influence. As the demand for steam engines grew, Boulton and Watt expanded its business operations significantly. Watt's engines were shipped to various parts of the world, including to the United States, where they played a crucial role in the development of the American industrial landscape. The engines were used in a variety of industries, from mining to transportation, and contributed to the spread of industrialization across Europe and the Americas. In his later years, James Watt continued to refine his steam engine designs, contributing new ideas to improve efficiency further. Death and recognition. James Watt passed away on August 25, 1819, at the age of 83, in Hetfield, near Birmingham, England. His death marked the end of an era in the history of industrialization, but his legacy lived on in the widespread use of steam engines. Watt was widely recognized during his lifetime for his innovations, receiving honors from the Royal Society and other scientific institutions. His contributions to the Industrial Revolution were acknowledged by both his contemporaries and future generations. In the years following his death, Watt became one of the most revered figures in the history of science and technology, lasting impact on technology and society. James Watt's steam engines were a driving force behind the Industrial Revolution, which transformed economies, societies, and the way people lived and worked. The efficiency improvements he introduced to steam power had lasting impacts on manufacturing, transportation, and urbanization. His work paved the way for the development of modern industry, making possible innovations such as the steamship and the locomotive.